The greatest ideas come from the simplest problems.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
From Cafeteria Film Studios in Little Havana, Phresh presents Que Bola, where we talk to various movers and hustlers who are popping off and succeeding in the 305 and at the same time influencing the culture. I'm your boy D Fig. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Ew. Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy D Fig once again. We're in the mix. Get What Our Podcast, new episode with my man DBJ. Holla at your boy when you see me in the street. Yo, DBJ is an up-and-coming musician artist out of South Florida. He recently won the Flex music competition based out of Miami. We saw him at the Roots Kava Bar. It was a great location, and it was an awesome finale to the Flex competition. In this episode, we chopped it up about what it takes to be an artist in his genre of music, in this type of atmosphere such as Miami, his challenges, his process, his lessons, and it was a pretty much all-around awesome talk. So let's just get into it, all right, guys? I appreciate you once again. If you like the show, hit the subscribe button, share with your friends, tell them to subscribe. And steadily every week we're growing. Thank you so much for your love and appreciation. Listo. What's up, guys? So we're in a new episode of Que Bola. Thank you guys for being part of this next episode of Que Bola Season 2. Thank you for coming in, talking to us, and letting us know what's popping in your world. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am DBJ.
Okay, DBJ.
Artist visionary extraordinaire.
Well, damn. My name is Khalil Bohannon, a musician, event coordinator, producer.
All right. So, Mr. DBJ, what does the DBJ stand for?
Daniel Bartlett Jr. It's real simple.
Oh, okay.
It's not
So straight
anything.
up.
That's right.
Sound like a superhero, don't you?
So I met you through the Flex.
That's right.
The Flex competition. Mm-hmm. Prior to you winning, actually, the first competition, I met you and I saw you perform, do your thing. It was in Coral Gables, first time I saw you perform. Yeah. That night, I think you had like a sore throat or something like that, and you really couldn't go hard.
Yeah.
I recall that. Mm-hmm. So that's how I came into contact with you through Mr. Khalil Bohannon, and you recently just won the Flex competition for 2019, correct?
Yeah, man.
All right,
Absolutely.
all right. Talk to us about that experience, you know?
Well, first of all, I got to thank Khalil and the whole team at Flex for the opportunity. Thank you so much for bringing me on here. It's a real honor and a real privilege. Man, you know, I came down to Miami about 2017. I started coming down here. I was just looking for different things going on. So I'd go through Eventbrite. I'd like be peeping people's Instagrams to try to find out what was going on down here. And found out about this competition. Actually, it was Zorenzo. Through Zorenzo's page, actually. I was flipping through his page and I saw the competition. I was like, I'd love to be a part of something like this. So I got in touch with Khalil, and the rest is history. Like the first, like you said, the first time, like my voice was like really, I don't know what it was. Like there was a frog in my throat or something. But I still went out there, did my thing, had the good graces to be able to do the second time. And I'm always trying to think, what can I do to take my performance to another level, to a bigger level. I work really closely with my manager to put those things together. So I thought, man, okay, last time I went, I just did keys and my voice. I'm gonna have horns. I told Khalil before, and sometimes I say stuff, and I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I just know it's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, the crazy look in your eyes. You're telling me, I'm like, horns and backup singers? They ain't ready for it. They ain't ready. I was like,
what you thought when he told you that?
I don't know. I was kind of like, yeah, okay. Like, you sure are gonna have some horns, DBJ. Yes, you will. But he actually brought it together. It came together very nicely.
Yeah, man. Horns, background singers. I knew I was gonna dance there. See, and funny thing is, at that first competition, none of that stuff was in place. Yeah. You know, I know a couple people around, but it wasn't like in place. Even the dancing routine wasn't in place. So over the course of those couple months, I started putting the ideas together. I really only put the whole thing together like the last month before the show. So it was about like 2 rehearsals, something like that. 2 rehearsals with the band and with everybody. And then we just went out there and killed it, man. To be honest, it was big honor for me to even create that ambiance. Because really, I was cognizant of trying to win in the competition, but even more importantly to me was putting on a great show and putting on an experience for people, something different that maybe they hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
That's always how I try to approach my art and how I try to approach my music.
That's what's up, man. I mean, I congratulate you on winning, you know.
Thanks, brother.
I liked your music a lot. It was something that was different.
That's right.
It's not typically like, it's not what's popular right now, which is a lot of
right.
trap and stuff like that. You went in another direction with your music. It was more soulful, more like, it reminded me kind of like a James Brownish type thing.
Yeah.
You know, with a little, with the horns and with the
Yeah,
dancing and with all that. So you like put it all together. And you decided to do this all for the flex? Or,
yes. Specific. So there are other things in the works as to why I put it together, but this show was specifically made for the flex.
Okay.
We're going to be performing again at Speak Friday at the end of the month.
Okay.
So that's going to be a little bit of a different setup. People will be excited. Yeah, y'all should get excited for that one. That's gonna be another experience for sure.
So I wanted to bring you in, Khalil, because we're talking about the flex, but a lot of listeners might not know exactly what the flex is. Would you like to partake and just explain a little bit on how the flex works, what the flex is, et cetera, et cetera?
The Flex is a local music competition designed to give local artists a platform to showcase their original music and give them more opportunities to excel their portfolio and get them where they want to be in the music industry. And DBJ is actually the winner of the 3rd season of the Flex. The first 2 winners have both been on the show previously before. Southside Teddy B, when they hooked us up with this connection, my dog, and also Zorenzo. Both very prolific, talented artists. I love working with these guys. And DBJ is on their level in every single way. I'm just glad to have him on the team. And you guys are going to be seeing a lot of more cool stuff coming from the Flex soon.
That's what's up. So I want to know more or less, because you're an artist, right? I've been to the Flex before, but not as an artist. You know, I go as a consumer of music, as like a supporter of local culture. I don't know what the experience is like to be on stage, to be like trying to win this and trying to cater to certain like feels, you know, like you have to first cater to the judges, and then you have to cater to the audience. And then on top of that, your music has to be good, and you really got to be feeling it, because other people are not going to experience that. So talk to me about that. Like, what's your mindset like when you're trying to, you know, run through all those gamuts?
So, funny enough, I couldn't really internalize all that until you actually saw me press those first keys on the keyboard.
Before that, it was
everything before was madness, right? Because you have to. I'm thinking in my head, okay, the horns in place? Are the background singers in place? Does everybody have their parts? The rhythm section. All of that stuff is running in my head. Wardrobe. Does everybody have their wardrobe? All these different things are running in my head. And only when I got to the keyboard could I like say, okay, it's all done, and now I can do me really. You know what I mean?
I see.
I think in terms of being an artist, I'm a little different than what you would normally see, in that like my background's a little different. Like I've trained my whole life for this, you know. I studied music production, studied orchestral arrangement, studied jazz, studied pianos, studied vocalists, whether it be James Brown, John Legend, Usher, whatever it is. Like I studied this stuff to be able to put on the type of show that hopefully everybody can enjoy. And I think I made that decision a long time ago that this is the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. So that's why I've devoted so much time to many of these different things.
When did you start?
6, 7. I started with the piano, right?
Okay.
So I started with the piano, and over time evolved into these other areas, which I'm very thankful that I had the forethought to do that, because it was actually by mistake. When I just finished getting out of high school, my thought process was, an artist, for instance, an Usher, he just did everything.
What do you mean, did everything?
I thought that he wrote the song, He produced the song.
Oh, okay.
He did everything. So
Yeah.
I was like, shit, I need to be able to do everything. You know what I'm saying? So
That's a
so
common
I endeavored,
misconception.
yeah. So I endeavored to do everything.
Yeah.
And learn as much as I could. By no means, I would still say that I'm in a journey of growth always. I think as an artist, even as a videographer, whatever you're doing, you're always in that constant mode of growth, of learning. But for me, it was just very important that I had those things in place. And another reason unfortunately, sometimes not everyone's dependable. So I never wanted to be in a position where, okay, I need to finish this in production or post-production, and then I can't find the guy to do it. Or maybe it's out of my means to do it. I don't have the finances to do it. I never wanted to be that person that's stuck in that way. So I decided to free myself by educating myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you thought that through the education of music production was gonna be like your means to get out of where you were at. Where are you from though?
I'm originally from Haiti.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you Haitian background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Originally from Haiti, raised here. I came here when I was 5.
You came to Miami to South Florida.
Yeah, I came to actually we were up north first.
Okay, where?
Cincinnati,
Oh, all
New
right.
York, New Jersey.
You went from Haiti to Cincinnati?
Yeah, bro. Cincinnati,
Damn!
New York. Listen,
Fact.
Cincinnati, New York, New Jersey, Wisconsin for a time,
Damn.
Chicago, a whole bunch of different places, and then we came down here when I was like 6 or 7. We were up there like I was 5, maybe. All those places in the span of like a year and a half.
Okay.
And then came down here, and I've been here ever since.
All right, and where's down here?
So West Palm Beach County. Really.
Okay, so you Palm
Yeah.
Beach. That doesn't incorporate South Florida. So you were one of the South Florida artists that's trying to coalesce the movement down
That's
here.
right. That's right, man.
That's what's up. So when you got into high school, you decided I want to do this for the rest of my life with your music, et cetera, et cetera. Who would you say was like your biggest influence at that time? You spoke about Usher. You said,
Oh man.
like, who was the person that you emulated? Like, yo, I want to be like this dude. You know, like.
So funny story. Like, really, the whole like playing and singing, it came from John Legend. There was a girl at school that I was trying to impress with the song.
Normally that's what's up, Doc.
So I learned the song, and in doing that, I think I was a senior. And in doing that, like everything else came. But to be honest, like I've been wanting to do this since I was like 6, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was studying piano. At 6, I went to middle school of the arts, high school of the arts, and then from there I studied commercial music, FAU, and that's where I did all the other stuff. I was in a band at the time as well. You know, at the time I went by Danny B.
All right.
Right.
How many stage names have you had?
Just 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just 2. The DBJ, I really put a lot of thought in.
Yeah.
It seems like something super simple, but I put a lot of thought into, okay, how do I want the brand to look and all that different
Is
stuff.
it DBJ and DBJ band, DBJ music? What's
You know what it is? It's DBJ, period. That's what it is.
Okay, so
I don't have a
DBJ.
name for anything else yet.
right.
It's just DBJ. Yeah.
All right, that's what's up. So when you went up against the competition, I want you to like explain to me what was it that like when you were looking at the competition. There was some really good artists there, bro. You know, when I saw when I was watching, I was like, yo, I kind of like knew that you were gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna front, you know, I'm gonna be honest, because of the amount of production that you put into it.
Yeah.
Because I saw
Oh, money too, bro.
Yeah,
You have to
I mean-
understand. I want everybody to understand this.
Yeah.
You know, if you really want to do something, if you really believe in yourself, you got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to put the work where your mouth is. It's not enough to talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like all those guys out there, they all got paid.
Yeah.
I made sure they all got paid, and I made sure that the time that they were putting in, the effort that every individual was putting in, was worth
their
their
effort.
while.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, dog. That's kind of how that's like the feeling that I had when I saw you come up and perform. I was like, bro, like it's gonna be really hard to like top that shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you legit had a horn section and backup singers and all that, like, and then on top of that, you went into the crowd and you started like mingling with the crowd and like that's where like okay, so like the production part you had it on point.
Yeah.
like the actual performance part. How do you practice that? What's the process of being able? Because it's very different. I do this shit, you know. I talk shit podcast, but I still try to practice when I'm talking and like being able to conduct a conversation with a group of people. That's kind of how I feel like is my form of practice, right?
Yeah.
Like for your, but until you're in a moment, it kind of changes. It tweaks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true,
it's something
bro.
that I don't
Very
know what
true,
the
bro.
fuck it is,
No,
but
it's
it could
very
be
true,
just
bro.
a little thing, and it like changes the atmosphere in your head. Is like, okay, I'm on now. So like, how do you practice for that? What's your process for that?
See, anytime you're collaborating with people, it's a challenging thing, right?
Yeah.
And I try to, and Khalil can attest to that. Like, I try to make it as democratic a process as possible. However, at times people are a little shy because they might not be used to that type of openness.
Okay.
Right? So what I typically
You a
typically
dictator?
do.
That's what you sound like.
No, seriously. I seriously, like, I try to involve as much.
I mean, if you're a
people in
dictator,
it.
just say it, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm a dictator, dog. If you want to fuck with me, you're going to have to get, you know, I be doing some Castro shit, bro.
In his defense, he only threatened to hit us once during so,
That's what's up.
not
I mean,
that bad.
it's your art.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to like front.
Yeah.
Like if you really
Yeah.
like, I want things to be because it's your performance.
True,
That's to say
true.
because when you're doing stuff, you're laying yourself out there raw. You know, people are gonna be saying all kinds of shit. You know, so you're opening yourself up for all of that. So you really want to come across like as good as possible.
Yeah.
You want to be the greatest version of yourself while you're performing.
Absolutely.
So like I've always wondered like what is it that an artist is going for like while he's performing, you know? Because like the whole practice is good. Practice is practice. But like it's another
When you
world.
get to the moment, it's like where you were articulating a little bit just now. When you get there, bro, and I told everybody this. Listen, all this preparation is just to make sure everything's solid. When we get there, it might be completely different.
Yeah.
Right? Something might spark different things. Actually, like it was either the day before or the day of the show. I'm like, hey, when we get to Here We Go, I'm gonna introduce everybody. And that came on the spot. That actually wasn't beforehand. That was actually on the spot. I was thinking, how can I really get everybody their own little shine, as well as get the audience like, who the fuck is this? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
So like in the moment, man, it just things trigger. For instance, somebody asked me about that before too. So I went out into the crowd before we even came on to perform. I had already chosen the girl that I was gonna go to.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, way before, because I was scanning the crowd long before to figure out, okay, when that moment comes, you know what?
Because you already know that moment was coming.
I knew it was coming, so I prepared for it, you know. And everything seems impromptu.
Yeah.
But it's not. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
In some ways. The dance routine, of course, that was choreographed.
Okay.
That was choreographed before. But you know, when it comes to that moment and the lights are on, bro, it's just for me, all the chaos just dissipates. You know how people talk about like they get butterfly? Bro, when I get on stage, it's like I'm calm.
Oh yeah?
Like, I could never be more calm. I feel like I'm at home, bro. You know what I mean? It could be 5 people or 5 million people in the crowd. I feel like I'm at home. You know what I mean?
So you feel the stage is your home.
Yeah.
You're like your true north.
Yeah.
That's cool, dog. So, Khalil, I want to ask you, when you are judging for the talent, like we said that I said, you know, not you, I said, I thought he was the winner from the cat. But like, what you were coming in and you're a part of the judging panel, but you're part of the committee. What is it that they're actually looking for in the artist? What is it that you're trying to, or is it that you want to take out of the artist? You know, what is it, the constructive criticism? What is that you really want to impart on them?
Well, the judging score sheets is based off a few criteria, one of which is originality.
Okay.
Next is poise and presentation. The other is crowd reaction. And the last is clarity of voice.
Okay.
Cool. And the judges always at the end of the championship shows, they give constructive feedback to all the artists who went on to get as far as they did, to help them get to that next level of performance. Because it's not about just who wins. We also want people who don't end up as champions to take something away from the event.
Exactly.
Well,
I see. Like this year, it was at the end, the judges couldn't pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this is the first time ever that actually happened. Cause
exactly.
Bruh, 3 seasons and then the judges are like, yo, we actually can't decide, because they were torn. I think one judge was heavily in favor of DBJ, the other was more like Dan B, and the other one was partial.
Okay.
Dan B was the other finalist at the Flex that night. But they were like, yeah, we're gonna let the crowd decide, on some Disney Channel shit. We're what? We're really about to do this? Okay.
Fact, I was like, when you said that, I was shocked. I was honestly shocked. I was like, yo, what? They're going to have the Scream Out competition? I mean, that was cool. That was cool, but I thought that at that point that somebody was already going to have the decision made, It was like, damn, the artist, the crowd participation is going to be a huge part.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to be such a huge part at that moment. When the artists are being judged, I know that it's critical when they're giving you good constructive feedback. How do you feel though? Because you're really just raw in front of a bunch of people being told, "Are your fucking mistakes?" You know what I'm saying?
So this is cool, but this was trash.
Exactly.
This is trash.
You're standing in front of 80, 90 people there, and you just finished performing and singing your heart out or rapping your heart out, whatever the fuck. And then they're just like, well, you were sucky at this and this shit sucked, but you were good at that. How does that feel,
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I've been at this thing for a while, right? And one of the things that you learn to develop is not just it's something that everybody says thick skin, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even more than that, I've learned to take those things that make sense.
Yeah.
And I'll take them and learn from them for real. If it's something that's just, you can tell when something is a constructive criticism, when something's an opinion, and you have to be able to differentiate the two as an artist, because you could take something and internalize it oh, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
That's an opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or you know what? Here you were a little pitchy. That's a constructive criticism. So it's a matter of knowing I have a firm understanding of myself and my artistry. So I know what I put in, and I'll be the first one to tell you the fuck ups, all of them.
Yeah.
And as great as you saw the performance was, it was plenty of fuck ups. You know what I mean?
I didn't see that shit.
You never know. You never know. There was plenty of things. But you
as the artist,
Of course. And what you do with that, you take it and you go back home and man, I've heard so much in my life. DBJ, that's amazing. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I almost welcome
you fucked
hey man,
up here.
you fucked up here.
Yeah.
Fix it. You know what I mean?
I feel you. I feel you. In constructive criticism, you're always trying to pick up the good notes and trying to basically going through the garbage of what it is that they're giving you. You could try to decipher what it is that's garbage and what is actual constructive criticism.
Absolutely. I feel like the Flex competition, this particular competition, and the way that I was approaching it was a learning experience all in itself. So I had a videographer there as well, right? And the reason I had a videographer there was exactly for that.
Yeah.
So we can go back. Actually, this week I should be getting the footage back. Gonna go back and study it. See, okay, this we could have done better. This, da, da, da. I'm gonna go together with my manager, do that, because ultimately, we're trying to put together an hour show.
Okay.
Right, an hour show, and God willing, I just got a booking agent that's working on booking us solid stuff. I didn't even tell him that.
Nice,
but
congrats.
It's a lot of things that go on in the background people don't see.
Yeah.
Right, but that are being worked out really, 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 really hard. People would never know that I would take footage and then go back and study, but that's important.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's lost in music and in art as in a whole. That aspect of study, that aspect of really honing the craft and making it yours, so that you're not just a blip on the radar, but it's something that lasts forever. And the greats, all of the greats that I stand on their shoulders, that's the example that I have. You know, Jackie Wilson, James Brown, you know, Usher, more recent. You know, all these people, they're people who study the damn thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, to be able to do it. Even hip hop, Nas, KRS-One, Jay Dilla, like all these people, they study the stuff, and that's something I feel in some ways is lost, and that we have to work hard to stay within our truth to bring that out. I'm not saying to go out rah rah rah, you know, but I think that in, like, for me, for instance, if I can stay to my truth and put it out strategically and be very mindful of how I'm doing it, it'll catch on. You know, it's just a matter of time.
That's what's up, man. So had you actually been part of any other competitions prior to this?
I did actually. I did one at American Airlines Arena with Conquer Entertainment.
Okay.
And I won that. I won
nice.
that competition. I actually auditioned for The Voice. I didn't make it for The Voice.
All right.
Surprising enough.
Fuck The Voice.
No, but
It's a scam.
no, but I don't think. You know, I don't think so. I think that every
we love The Voice.
everything. I think every.
Shut us down.
I think every competition has its thing for its reasons.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How's the one with Conquer Entertainment? How did that go?
So what it was like a submission-based thing where you submitted a video on their site, and if your video got enough views, then you'd be able to go and perform at the American Airlines Arena. Mine was chosen along with 2 or 3 other people, and then we performed there, and then, you know, I won that.
Was there like a judge thing, or how'd you win? Was it like
I think at one point there was some crowd thing involved too. You know what I mean? I have to say this, and I don't know if I'll get flack for it, but I don't care.
Yeah.
So I think that another thing that's happening, at least in my limited view, is that you have music that's been commercialized and popularized in a particular way that I'm trying to be politically correct.
I mean, shit, this show isn't known for that.
Yeah, so I think there's two lanes. Of music right now that are bashing heads.
All right.
You have music that's been over popularized and that's like force fed in your face, and you have this conscious and intellectual part of music, and maybe it's always been in a fight with each other, but I think more so now.
Okay.
A lot of the reason, some of the political stuff that you see going on, I think the world overall is changing in a particular way, and I think it's more important now more than ever, especially if you stand for something that you make your voice known, and it's even more. We have more access and availability to do that now than we did before.
So you think there's more vapid music, and vapid music is going up against like conscious music?
Yeah, I think so. I think so in a way.
I mean, I think that's always been the dilemma.
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is that prior vapid music was still good. I don't understand. Like, not
What do
still
you mean?
good.
What do you mean by vapid music? What do you
I
mean?
mean vapid music, just like trashy music. You know, what's in the current? You know, so like what's currently popular, people are gonna make a lot of that because it's currently popular, so they could get more spins, but it ends up being the same shit. It just like sounds like the same shit. Like we were talking earlier, you said that on your Spotify, you listen to music on Fridays that are new, right?
Yeah.
And you said it's
Friday, yeah.
almost all, some of the songs are the same. It's probably the same tempo, probably the same key.
Yeah.
It's probably the same beat. It's all the same shit. It's just different voices. But it's because it's hard to be original now.
I'll say this to be a devil's advocate. Like, I wouldn't say that it's all bad. I feel like it all has its time, but I do feel that that lack of creativity that you're talking about. I think it's a lack of education too, bro. To be honest with you.
Not only that is it a lack of education, it's a lack of commitment.
Very true.
That's what it is.
That's very true.
Because the thing is that for you to be creative, you have to be committed.
You got it.
Because you have to spend time in the studio and you got to do all of that to develop your craft and all of that. Mm-hmm. But we live in a society where you're just like instantly gratified. So if you want to be a musician, you want to pop now, right now. So what's popping now? I got to make music that's popping now.
But you know what though? I'll tell you, that's for me, I feel that's my greatest secret weapon.
Yeah.
I love that. Because guess what? When I come with what I'm coming with, it's like, what the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. When really, in hindsight, if you're looking at it and you take my music, you put it in any period of history in the past, and I'm just another schmuck. Yeah. I'm just another one. Yeah. But now, because of all this, fortunately or unfortunately, like I can be like, who the hell is this?
I feel you.
And see, and I say that point to kind of go back to what I was saying before. Both at Flex and both at the Conquer, there's this dichotomy going on with that same thing, right? You have music that sounds like the stuff now, and you have what I'm doing that's different, and people are hungry for something different, bro. Yeah. Let's see what the other thing too is that I believe that music is cyclical. Okay. Like as everything is. Yeah. Markets are cyclical. Yeah. They go up and down. Yeah. Whatever it is. So people, we as human beings, we get sick of stuff. We get tired of stuff. And I feel like it's coming to a point where people are just tired of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they want something
original,
fresh,
nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I feel you.
And when, if I had the crystal ball for that, I'd be rich. Nobody has the crystal ball to know, but I know myself that I'm gonna stand by my truth and what I feel is good music in my eyes, and hopefully other people will see.
So speaking about what's good music in your eyes, what you listening to nowadays? What do you feel is popping? Man, who do you have like on repeat? Do you have anybody on repeat?
Really, be honest, I don't, man. Yeah. I'm listening to a whole bunch of stuff. I listen to rock sometimes. Okay. Listen to pop.
What's your so your genre of music is more of the like R&B. Yeah, R&B. So what would be something that people wouldn't know that you listen to that you like?
Really? What's crazy? The stuff I've been listening to more now is like older stuff. Okay. Like Jackie Wilson.
All right.
Like James Brown. All right. Like who else?
Otis Redding.
Otis Redding. You know what I mean?
You to like all those people though.
You know what I mean?
Give me something weird, like Taylor Swift.
Exactly. What's your weirdest secret obsession of music? You like Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift's all right.
All right, man.
No, but there's man, I can't think of it's a country band actually.
Oh, it's country music? I haven't heard no country music on Flex yet.
Man, we're working our way up to that. Season 4.
The country music come make them rolling on my bag.
Even blues, like Muddy Waters, stuff like that. Maybe people will know that, maybe not, but like I'm heavy into jazz as well. Herbie Hancock, Chick Corea, a lot of key players because I play keys. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Fats Wallace.
Back in the day, like college, I was into a lot of like rock stuff.
Like heavy metal.
Not super heavy metal.
Like that Black Sabbath shit.
Like I'll never forget the quick story. Listen, I walked into this. It looked like a dungeon, bro. Really. I walked in, and everything's dark, and then all you hear is choo 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 choo. Wow! I was like, holy shit! It was the craziest experience of my life, but it was cool. Maybe that's something that I would subscribe to. Yeah. But I could see why they were like into it.
That,
you know what I mean?
Like, I will go to a weird ass rock show.
Yeah, just
I'm not particularly a rock fan. You know? I don't like that dark metal shit. But I'll just go and hang in the corner and just check it out. Just because it's some weird shit that I get to see. you know, it's in live. I love live music.
That's right.
So it's like it's live music. They're going ham and they're putting all their energy into it. It might not be my
your cup of tea. Yeah, that's right.
But I do experience it and I enjoy that experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I like experiencing weird ass shit like that. Like I know you're Haitian, right?
Yeah.
So Haitian music is something that here in South Florida you get to hear, you know what I'm saying? Because you could come into contact with it in various ways. Like if you jump into a taxi cab or some shit like that,
That's
you know,
right.
you'll hear some compa.
That's
so
right.
like, I particularly like a lot of compa music because it's
man.
very. I've always said compa is like a slow merengue. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like you slow down merengue a couple beats, and that's what you got compa. You know what I'm saying? But it's more like a bachata with a merengue mixed in.
That's right.
And that's what
right.
compa is. I've danced it too. It's super fun to dance. You know. So like, how do you feel about compa music and like mixing that into your sound? Do you mix any weird sounds into your R&B sound? Do you ever say like, oh, when I want to do a break, I'm gonna do it like with this. I'm gonna throw in a hip hop break. I'm gonna throw a compa break. I'm gonna throw a reggaeton break. Like,
you know what happens? What happens with me is that, like, I don't particularly think that way.
Okay.
Right. So I think more in like how is this going to move people? How is this gonna feel? And if it feels right, then it's gonna go in. It really doesn't matter to me too much what you call it. You know, if it's compa or whatever, it just feels right there. And the other fortunate thing that I have is that, you know, I've listened to so much variety in music that this stuff, like, it'll just come out. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm really excited about a project I'm working on in the background. It's called Endless Possibilities.
Okay.
And so I've been, throughout the past couple of years, gathering artists here and there to get on it. I don't have a completion date yet set for it because I'm still putting different pieces together, but it's gonna be something special. I'm planning on using a lot of. I already started using collaborating with a couple artists down here, and what we've been able to come up with really, really special music. So I think people are going to get a feeling, get a taste of what I kind of bring to the table, which is something different, not for different sake, but I think that is me. That's me. You know what I mean? Making stuff that's true to me. You know what I mean?
And if people want to listen to your music, what other platforms you're on?
So I'm everywhere right now. Anywhere you can stream music, you can find two of my songs, "Caught in the Middle," which we didn't perform that night, and "Mystery Girl." You can find that on every platform that you can think of. Also on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on SoundCloud. I have a couple more pieces there that I don't have everywhere. But steady working, man, steady grinding, trying to build something different, something very accessible. You know, one thing that I love, for instance, about Stevie Wonder's music is that you could look in a Stevie Wonder crowd. Yeah. You're gonna see all the shades of the rainbow. Yeah. You know what I mean? All young, old, and you can have all walks of life there. Yeah. Certain artists in certain places, you can't have that. Yeah. That's the type of experience I want. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So
yeah, that's dope, man. That's a dope picture right there that you painted. That's like a unity type thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
like unity through music. That's what's up, bro. So if people want to reach out to you, get in contact with you.
Oh, there's many different ways. So
what's the easiest way?
The easiest is my phone number, 561.
What? You want to give your number out?
Yeah, 561.
All right.
567-5608. Again, I'll say it again, just in case you missed it. 561-567-5608.
All right.
And that's the easiest. Then you got IG, DBJ MUSIQ, DBJ MUSIQ. Okay. Or you can check out my website, which is www.danielbartleyjr.com.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming and talking to us.
Absolutely.
Letting us know about your craft, letting us know about your music, representing South Florida musicians, putting on for the craft, and actually, you know, being committed and making something good.
Yeah, man.
You know, genuinely
That's
good.
important. Mm-hmm.
You know, I vouch for it. Like, your shit is genuinely good. You know, I've seen you perform 2 times, and the first time I saw you perform, I was like, damn, this guy is pretty good, you know? And then the second time when you brought that whole shit, I was like, damn. That shit put me up.
See, that's the thing. Like, now it's my goal. Okay, that was damn. I wanted to be like, what the fuck? Next
That's
time.
what's up, man.
That's
what
my goal. That's my goal. Every time to just, take it to that next level.
This is good, bro. Mm-hmm. And Khalil, if people want to reach out to you and reach out to the Flex for the next competition, get on. We got the winner. Are you gonna be judging next year?
Oh, it's all up to him. Whatever he tells me to do, I do.
Maybe.
Yeah, more than likely, yes. Yeah.
What's good? How do people reach out to you guys?
Please, if you want to stay up to date with the Flex in our platform, follow us on IG and Facebook at the Flex MIA. No phone numbers. I'm sorry. I don't know y'all like that. I don't know none of y'all who watching this podcast. But shoot us a DM if you're an artist and you're interested in performing. If you're interested in joining the movement, collaborating with us, we're always down to work with whoever. Dope creatives like Darwin at Phresh. It's an amazing opportunity always. Just want to thank you guys for making this.
No problem, bro. No problem, man. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you for talking to Que Bola, and being just genuine and open and just letting people know what's going on in your life.
Great pleasure. Thank you.
And basically the creative scene here down in South Florida. Until next time, you guys know what it is. It's the Que Bola podcast. I appreciate you guys. Please subscribe, like, share this shit with your friends. Share it with your enemies. If you hate it, just share it, all right? Y'all be easy till the next time. Peace.
Peace.
So you heard that. Where to find DBJ Music. Where to get in contact with the Flex if you're interested on being part of their music competition coming up. Till the next time, everybody knows where to get in contact with me. What's up? WASSA at fresherfresh.com. And if you have any questions or anything along those lines, feel free to shoot them that way. I appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. Hasta la próxima. Peace, love, and unity. Peace.